for black ships, belching smoke like dragons, just sailed into Edo Bay. Japan's about to have a very bad day. First, let's set the stage. Here's the world our story unfolds in, around 1868, with Edo, Tokyo, right at the heart of it. These aren't just any ships, they're American warships, and they've brought a letter demanding Japan open its ports. Polite but with cannons. The Tokugawa shogunate, rulers of Japan for 250 years, suddenly realize their invincible isolation policy has a gaping hole the size of a warship. The shogunate's response? Panic. They ask the emperor for advice, which is like asking a cat to solve your taxes. Meanwhile, in the southern domains of Satsuma and Chōshū, young samurai are sharpening their swords and rolling their eyes at the shogun's weakness. In 1854, the shogunate signs the Treaty of Kanagawa, opening 2 ports to American ships. It's like Japan just joined a gym membership it never wanted. Then in 1858, the Harris Treaty doubles down. More ports, low tariffs, and extraterritoriality, meaning foreigners commit crimes and get a slap on the wrist. Back home, samurai are furious. They see the shogunate selling out Japan to foreign barbarians, and they're not about to bow to that. Samurai in Chōshū are furious. They've had enough of foreigners stomping around their sacred land, so they form a club with a very catchy name. Revere the emperor, expel the barbarians. Meanwhile, in Satsuma, Saigo Takamori cracks his knuckles and says, if we're expelling barbarians, we need to start now. He's ready to trade his tea ceremony for a sword fight. The movement spreads like wildfire. Assassinations and attacks on foreigners become the new extreme sport, and the shogunate is left going, wait, we didn't sign up for this. In a dim Kyoto backroom, Saigo Takamori and Kido Takayoshi finally meet face to face. They've been rivals, but now they've got a common enemy, the shogun. But wait, Satsuma and Chōshū hate each other. They've been mortal enemies for centuries. This alliance is like cats and dogs signing a peace treaty. They sign the pact. 2 domains, 1 goal. Overthrow the shogunate and restore the emperor. Cue dramatic music and a secret handshake. November 9th, 1867. Tokugawa Yoshinobu, the last shogun, walks into the emperor's court not to fight but to resign. The room is stunned. He hands over a document that says, here's the keys to Japan, I'm out. For 265 years, the Tokugawa family ran the show. Now, the show's over. But wait, Yoshinobu keeps his army. I'm giving you the government, but I'm keeping the muscle. That's like quitting your job, but keeping the office coffee machine. And here's Edo, Tokyo, up close, where our story really plays out. January 3rd, 1868. Midnight. A dozen conspirators tiptoe through Kyoto's palace gates, whispering, we're restoring the emperor. They burst into the throne room, unroll a scroll, and declare, the shogunate is abolished. The emperor rules again. The court nobles gasp. The edict is official. The shogunate is over. But in Osaka, Tokugawa Yoshinobu hears the news and laughs. They think they can just fire me? January 27th, 1868. 2 armies face off at Toba-Fushimi. The shogunate has numbers, but the emperor has something better, a flag. The shogunate charges, confident in their numbers. But the imperial troops have modern rifles, and they're not afraid to use them. The shogunate troops see the imperial banner and realize they're fighting the emperor himself. Morale? Gone. Retreat? Immediate. April 1868. Saigo Takamori rides up to Edo Castle's gate, ready for a fight. Instead, he finds Katsu Kaishu, who greets him with tea and a very persuasive PowerPoint. Katsu explains, surrender peacefully, and we'll avoid burning this beautiful city to the ground. Saigo, who loves a good burning, is reluctant. But Katsu has a secret weapon, logic. Saigo grudgingly agrees. Edo Castle surrenders without a single arrow fired. The city breathes a sigh of relief, and Saigo mutters, fine, but I'm keeping the sword. April 6th, 1868. Emperor Meiji stands before his court, unrolling a scroll that promises democracy. The nobles gasp. This is like a king suddenly offering to share his dessert. He reads the first article. Deliberative assemblies shall be established. The lords exchange glances. They've never deliberated a day in their lives. Someone in the back whispers, "What's a deliberation?" The oath promises seek knowledge throughout the world. The courtiers nod, pretending they understand, but secretly they're already planning to import Western top hats. July 4th, 1868. Imperial troops roll up to Ueno, where the last shogunate loyalists are holed up. The loyalists are confident they've got a cannon. The Imperials have a bigger one. The Imperial cannon roars. The loyalist position explodes in a puff of smoke and flying debris. The shogunate defenders scatter like startled pigeons, hats flying, dignity nowhere in sight. Now the big move, the road from Kyoto to Edo, Tokyo. October 1868. The Imperial Army marches on Aizu-Wakamatsu, where the loyalists have holed up into Tsuruga Castle. The castle's walls are strong, but so is the Imperial artillery. The siege of Tsuruga Castle lasts a month. The defenders hold out stubbornly, but supplies run low, and the cannons keep pounding. It's a medieval castle facing a modern war. Spoiler, the castle loses. December 1868. Inomoto Takeyoshi, the shogunate's admiral, sails north with the entire fleet, muttering, "If I can't have Japan, I'll take this frozen rock." He lands at Hakodate, a sleepy port that has no idea it's about to become the capital of a brand new republic. Surprise! He raises the shogunate flag over the fort, declaring the Republic of Edo. The snow cheers. The bears are not consulted. May 1869. Imperial ships roll up to Hakodate Bay, cannons gleaming like a teenager's first car. The Republic of Edo is about to get a very loud wake-up call. The Imperial fleet opens fire. The fort's walls erupt in cartoonish puffs of smoke, and the defenders dive for cover like startled cats. Inomoto Takeyoshi, the shogunate's admiral, watches his dream of a northern republic crumble. He sighs, orders the white flag raised, and wonders if they have a return policy on empires. In 1871, the domains vanish overnight. Hundreds of feudal lords wake up to find their fiefs replaced by prefectures, like waking up to find your castle turned into a DMV. The daimyo are told to move to Tokyo, leaving their ancestral land behind. It's like telling a cat its litter box is now a museum exhibit. The new prefectures are run by young, ambitious bureaucrats, not old lords. It's a hostile takeover, but with more paperwork and fewer poisonings. The samurai class loses its special status. No more automatic salaries. No more fancy swords as a fashion statement. It's like losing your VIP pass to the coolest club in history. The government announces a new national army, open to all citizens, not just samurai. The samurai are not thrilled. They feel like a rock band when synthesizers were invented. In 1871, Iwakura Tomomi packs 50 of Japan's finest minds into a ship, but not for a vacation. They're heading west on a fact-finding mission that will change everything. They arrive in America wearing top hats and frock coats, looking like a gaggle of confused penguins. But they're here to learn, and boy, do they have questions. They tour factories, shipyards, and banks, scribbling notes like over-caffeinated students before finals. The West is a buffet of ideas, and Japan is hungry. It's 1873, and the government drops a bombshell. Every man in Japan, regardless of class, must serve in the army. Samurai everywhere clutch their katana and gasp. By 1876, the samurai are told to hand over their beloved swords. It's like asking a chef to give up his knives, but with more existential dread. Without swords and stipends, samurai are left with their pride and a lot of free time. Some take up farming, others start rebellions. It's a mixed bag. Saigo Takamori, the last great samurai, decides the new Japan has forgotten its soul. He saddles up his horse and rallies 40,000 angry sword swingers. The government in Tokyo hears the news and collectively face-bombs. They send an army to stop him, but Saigo's rebels are fighting like it's 1600. The rebels march on Kumamoto Castle, but the castle's defenders are not in the mood for a samurai revival. They slam the gates and prepare for a siege. Saigo's samurai surround the castle, but they forgot their siege ladders at home. They stare at the walls like it's a pop quiz they didn't study for. The defenders, mostly conscripted farmers, are not impressed. They fire cannons, and the samurai realize bullets don't care about your family sword. It's September 24th, 1877. Saigo's rebels are down to their last stand on Shiroyama, surrounded by the Imperial Army. They're outnumbered 60-1, but Saigo's still got his sword and his pride. The Imperial cannons open fire, and the mountain erupts in smoke and dirt. Saigo's samurai, brave but exhausted, charged downhill into a wall of bullets. It's not a battle. It's a tragic one-sided finale. Wounded and surrounded, Saigo asks his loyal friend to end it. With a final bow, he commits seppuku, and the rebellion dies with him. The new Japan has won, but it doesn't feel like victory. Ito Hirobumi, the man who once smuggled himself out of Japan in a barrel, now packs his bags for Europe. His mission: steal the best constitution ideas and bring them home. In Germany, Ito scribbles notes like a student before finals, but he's not just copying homework. He's picking the best bits: emperor's power, a dash of democracy, and a pinch of keep the peasants quiet. Back in Japan, Ito unveils the Meiji Constitution to a stunned audience. It's a gift-wrapped box of you get rights, but we keep the power, and everyone claps politely, unsure if they should be thrilled or worried. The government, now run by ex-samurai with clipboards, decides Japan needs factories. And not just any factories, model factories, because Japan loves a good model. Workers in Western suits and bowler hats operate steam-powered looms. Their faces a mix of confusion and determination. The textile mills hum like 1,000 angry bees, and Japan's future is woven one thread at a time. By 1900, Japan has over 8,000 miles of railway, enough track to wrap around a small country or a very ambitious snake. The Iron Snake is born. Japan's brand new navy, all shiny and eager, sails out to meet China's fleet. It's like a fresh grad showing up to a job interview with a PowerPoint. The Battle of Yalu erupts in smoke and fury. Japanese guns are faster, louder, and frankly better at making the Chinese ships feel inadequate. China's fleet limps home, and Japan celebrates a victory that makes the whole world sit up and say, wait, Japan can do that. In 1904, Japan decides to teach Russia a lesson in geography. They target Port Arthur, a fortress so tough it laughs at siege ladders. Japanese troops charge the Russian fort at Port Arthur, bayonets gleaming. The Russians, sipping tea, are mildly surprised by the enthusiasm. The Russians fight back with artillery, but Japan's navy is already dancing around theirs. It's like a speedboat versus a battleship in a swimming pool. After months of siege, Port Arthur falls. The Russians surrender, and Japan's flag flutters over the fort. The world gasps. An Asian power just beat a European empire. The war ends with a peace treaty in Portsmouth, USA. Japan walks away with new territory and a seat at the big kids' table. July 30th, 1912. Emperor Meiji, the man who went from cloistered teen to symbol of a modern nation, takes his final bow. Japan collectively holds its breath. His funeral procession winds through Tokyo, a city he watched transform from feudal backwater to world power. The crowds are massive, but they're not just mourning. They're celebrating a life that became a legend. As the